I feel it's a lot of royal energy. So, it's having that way where you hold yourself, you speak your truth in a really beautiful, and it's kind of like that air of it is what it is. I have nothing to be ashamed of. This is
Yep,
how I feel.
yep.
Yeah.
That energy right there is what I need. Not even gonna lie, spoke to my soul.
Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast, where we speak about all things related to spirituality, soul level healing, intuitive guidance, frequencies, and much more. I'm Amy Sikarskie, licensed vocational nurse, past life hypnotherapist, master intuitive energy healer, and a clairvoyant physical channel. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Spirit School Online, where we offer courses in energy therapy, free guided meditations, courses and information around learning to connect in with your spirit guides, and much more. You can find me at amysikarskie.com and offerings at spiritschoolonline.com. So I am so happy to share a session today. This is going to be amazing, and we'll flow with it like we do. At any point, if any questions come up, feel free to ask. And so what I'm doing is I'm just setting the space around. It's so pretty. It's like so pretty. It's actually this orange, like this glowing orange, like an orange dreamsicle orange that's like, oh, it feels so good. It feels so joyful and stabilizing. And yeah, I love this. So what we'll do too is as I get started, I'll let you know what guides and angels are here with us and we'll flow in.
Perfect. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. So I'm going to just do a little intro to the podcast and then we'll get started.
Sounds perfect.
Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Amy Sikarskie, and welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast. I'm so happy to share with you an energy healing session today with Lissie. And thank you so much, Lissie, for being here and sharing such a beautiful experience.
Thank you, Amy, for the opportunity to be here. I'm so grateful for it.
Oh, you are welcome. Yes. So we kind of set our energy a little bit and can feel the light already flooding in. It's so pretty. It has there's this frequency coming in behind me that's just flowing like through the heart chakra, which is so interesting. It's coming from behind and just lighting up the space around us. And it looks like an aura crystal where it's white with flickers of purple and blue and pink. It's like really unicorn and magic.
I love it.
Oh, good. Yeah, it feels like joy. And oh, yeah, again, I just feel like a magical realm of places. I'm hearing mystery and support. Like there's spaces we go as a child in our wonderment and we're like, oh, this feels like a fairy tale or
1000%.
okay, okay. Yeah, it's such a beautiful frequency that we have here. And I know it's your energy and it's here to support, it's here for you. So this is lovely. What I'd like to do is connect in and I'll view your aura. At that point, your guides and angels will come in. I'll let you know who's here and then we'll flow into the energy work.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So bring this a little closer. There we go. All right. Let's see. I'm hearing the word auralite, and it's a frequency. It's a frequency that I think can actually come through with a physical crystal. And I'm guessing it might be the name of a crystal, but I'm not familiar with it, or it could be. And but also there's this etheric, beautiful angel guide. Uh, she's female coming in as well. And she represents purity and love and a gentle oneness. It's like she helps to bring people and communities together. So if they are in disagreement or their frequencies are a little bit different or they're not really they're not clicking, they don't quite get it, they don't understand each other. She helps to she bridges the space she's sharing, like her frequency merges and brings both together for connection and conversation and community. And it's this happiness. She's showing me like if somebody's really grumpy and upset, it's really hard to be that way when she comes around. The frequency is so soft and gentle that it kind of like sneaks in a way. It's really gentle. Then before you know it, you're happy and you're like, wow, that was a great shift. Um, and I feel like she's around and working with you. So I want to say that there's a flavor or a frequency of elemental realm here, but it's a little bit higher than that. Almost off Earth, like 16th dimension realm where she's at.
Wow.
So, yeah, high frequency. And she's your guide. Like, she's here for you. So, you work with that frequency in that realm, which is pretty. And I'm shaking my head because I'm getting a yes. She's saying that in that realm, there's Pegasus. And although we talk about unicorns, it's like Pegasus. There's Pegasus energy. And I see little tiny she's calling them sprites or gnomes, but they look small, but they're strong. It's like it's the light that doesn't need the physical body because we're so strong in soul level, like spirit light. It's like, so if you could, it's like an inch or two tall, light, just lights flowing around. The picture in my mind's eye, what I'm seeing, the vision almost is like a little bit larger than what we have now, but fireflies just flying around, all these beautiful lights. And these are the beings of that realm, but she's calling them helper bees. So they buzz around, but it's not a bee. But they float around and they're working and they have so much happiness. They love to be doing things like all they have to do is touch their light on something and watch it expand with this glow. So they come through into our reality when somebody's depressed or feeling down, and they'll deposit a little frequency within the aura that then merges in and lights up. And she's saying that depending on how clear the aura is, you might need more or maybe one little tap of frequency is great. But if you've been really, really low, it would be multiple taps of this frequency that would come in to then get the energy updated, refreshed. And it reminds me of watercolors, like kind of just depositing a pigment of frequency in. So you do this work with your laughter and your energy that you share with others, your smile. Like they show me, and here I can see you. So I get an added bonus if someone's listening on an audio podcasting platform. You have this twinkle in your eye when you smile, and that little spark of light comes through, and it's this joyful happiness. So she's saying that you're not meant to be sad. You're not here to your soul frequency is high, and you are like, you have this resolution within this internal fabulous knowing where you're like, I'm good. I'm safe. Life is here to support me. I'm here for a reason. And it's a blink of an eye. There's nothing to be worried about because you know that outside of this reality, it's just pure oneness,
You're
pure
gonna make me
beauty.
cry. Yes. Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We feel it. Yeah. Yep. So, a gift and a blessing for you is to connect in with your soul family in this realm. If you ever are like, oh my gosh, I thought I could do this. It is so hard today. I'm feeling all the weight of the world.
Girl,
They
yes.
want you to breathe. Yeah. And you know what they're showing me for you are instruments of sound, the flute and the harp. And, like instruments that have higher
The
frequencies.
high pitch. I have a
Yes.
sound bowl, but I love listening to Lizzo and her flute solos.
Yes.
It's funny that you say that. And I do love the harp. Like, I was watching somebody do a performance with that, and I was just like, oh my God, that sounds beautiful. It sounds so clear. It sounds so nice. How
Mm-hmm.
funny.
Yeah. Well, those are sound frequencies that really speak to your soul. There's a way in which messages and the sense of safety and security that you're not alone and all is well comes through in that because we are strong. You're beautiful and bright, But this world can be a bit much at times, yeah? Especially
Yeah.
when you're doing light work. When we do light work, many of us go into heavy places. We find ourselves in the most bizarre or wildest situations, like helping others that somehow have tripped up or gotten themselves in a low, low frequency. And we zoom on in, boom, and we help lift them up. And so self care is what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing regulation, like a re regulation of your energy field. And this is a frequency or a way in which you can return to your frequency is with the assistance of those particular musical instruments. So that will really, really help you. Yeah. Yeah. It looks so good.
Thank you so much, Amy. That helps
you're,
so much.
you're welcome. Yes. So here's a vision I'm getting for you. You've had life experiences, we'll call them, in other realms, but around Earth that look very elemental. The first thing I'm seeing is this active volcano, but the lava's not explosive, but it's a gentle flow of lava. So it's manageable, it's not destructive. People, they can see it. Um, and it goes into the ocean for the most part. And this is really intriguing to me because I'm thinking, can this be possible on Earth? Like, I literally don't know, but this is what I'm seeing. As the lava gets close to vegetation, the plants kind of pull back and move on their own or fold down and go underground and sprout in other areas. So this must be way like really ancient if it is part of Earth because I don't know of any magical plants right now that would do that. So maybe it's just my lack of experience. I don't know. But I'm seeing that. And in this vision, I'm seeing you as a spiritual being. So you're not in a physical 3D body like a human. So they keep showing me our fairy tales, like a little fairy. And I see you, there's this beautiful tropical flower, kind of like a hibiscus. And you're floating around it, you're flying around and working. And then behind you is where I see this volcano and the waters. So you have had a very magical time in another realm. They're saying it could be like 1,000 human years where you're working in the elemental space to live and bless and be here on earth. So seriously, that's like a calling card of a space for you to be in nature. Especially I'm seeing tropical energy is very like at a soul level, just would nourish you to the best. So if you need a refresh and a restart in life, find your way to the tropical regions.
It's funny that you say that because we've been thinking about maybe either taking a trip either to Costa Rica, Peru, either at the end of this year or beginning of next year with a few family members. And I'm like so with it, but I really hope we pick Costa Rica because I want tropical.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be beautiful. Yes, and I see it's interesting. They show me like a coconut and drinking the coconut milk. Um, but I feel that the message is deeper than that, in that you would be partaking of fruits of the land, so papaya and guava and all of that. It's just like, oh, so refreshing and so peaceful, this experience. So mind, body, spirit, and soul would all be nourished from those opportunities. Hmm.
Sweet. I'm so happy to hear that because I need it.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. So, we have already just discovered some beautiful messages and beings that are here to support you. And, I like to work with Dragon Realm, unicorns come in sometimes, and I like to work with the archangels. It kind of just depends where the energy of the session is focused. So, let me see who else might be here. Okay, I have had this guide come in recently for the past few months, and I'm probably going to say the name wrong, but Gladriel, or yeah, Gladriel, a female, and she does remind me of elven energies. And so she's here. She's really tall, like stories tall in her light, thin and tall. And at the bottom where she touches the earth, it's like her energy, kind of like a dress, trumpets out.
Wow.
So it flows out. And her color is white. It's pure white and it feels like, I mean, there's a little golds and pinks up at the top, but where she touches the earth, and the words are stability and peace. So I feel like today is a recharge day for you, bringing you stability and peace, nourishing your soul, your heart, your mind, your spirit. And they're showing me fine tuning your chakras. So, yeah, it looks like your heart chakra, it's not a major situation at all, but it's just tipped a little bit. So, if we can realign it, it's like you'll be able to take a deeper breath of energy. So, before maybe it felt kind of shallow, but we'll fix that so more energy can rush in as you pull it in.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. A lot of the work that you're doing on earth naturally, just like you don't have to try, is to lift the frequency to this higher realm of beingness. So you're living there. You're in the body, but you're living there. And I'm just taking a moment to look at your, like, how connected you are in the body in a grounded kind of a way. Let me see. And you are. You're completely in the body. And this is the perfect example. Oh my gosh, you're naturally doing it. I've shared this before, like a way for us to leave the body often when we want to work. You're already here. You're in the body, but you've expanded outward. So you don't have to go up and leave to get into those higher frequencies. You're embodied and you go out a little bit, from the body in your aura in those higher frequencies, and you alchemize a lot. So they're showing me you in the body walking around in your earth life, and your aura, they're saying digest is the word they're using. Visually, I'm seeing like you alchemize kind of, this is so funny, but this is an example. Like a Venus flytrap, your aura just catches toxic energy and transmutes it. So if you go into these heavy, heavy, heavy places, that's when you can get overwhelmed because you're like, oh, I'm getting bogged down. There's so much here. And you're not meant to do all of that work alone. So that's when they say, reset. Let's come in and help clear the energy, listen to the harps and the flutes and the music and that sort of a thing. And also, chromotherapy is healing with color. And you can get any type of, like right now, they have all these beautiful LED lights available that rotate through the frequencies of the rainbow. Okay, that will really help you. But what I feel is some of your higher, like the higher chakra colors, are the most soothing to you in a way of floating in that energy. So it would be the blues, little aquas and purples, and fuchsia, like the higher pinks, to help support your physical body. If you say, oh, I just am depleted, my body's tired, you would do the yellows, the oranges, and the reds. Just shine that light over your body, put it in your room, gaze at it with your eyes. But that's what they're sharing for tips for you to really help. And probably some of our listeners too. I mean, we can all benefit from it, but it would just be really good for you specifically.
I
Yeah.
love that you say that because I've literally been thinking about getting those light bulbs where you put up in your regular fan or whatever in your
Yeah.
room, your light fixture, and it's supposed to be controlled by like a control, and you can put all these different colors going on. And I've been thinking about getting those for my room, especially like when I lay down at night before I go to bed for meditation or whatever. And so I love that you said that about using certain colors or color therapy to help me because that's been something that's been on my mind lately.
Yes. Okay. They're bringing it through as a confirmation. So you're already getting the message. Yeah, absolutely. It'll be, and it's so easy these days to find.
Yes.
Yeah. Back, years ago, they used to use stained glass and let the sunlight come through, which is beautiful too. But you're limited to
How
finding some
much color
stained
you can
glass.
get. Yeah.
Yeah, and how much you can light up the whole room. Absolutely. Yeah, and how time of day. So this will be perfect and it can help you relax at night.
Thank you so much, Amy.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Let me see what else. We have Archangel Ariel here, high frequency, Shamuel, Raguel, and Raphael, and Metatriel. So the energy is like really, it's this beautiful high frequency peaceful, blessed vibration that can come in really soft. Because it is so high, it's like it doesn't have to force its way into your life. It's just here, this energy. So some sessions I'll have angels come in and they're really, boom, I'm here, because we're dealing with heavy things. But you're already in that high frequency. So they are here like family surrounding you and kind of like swaying in a group hug. And it just feels so pretty. So today, let's begin some energy work and charge up your aura and chakras. And then I want to work with your heart chakra that's out a little bit. And I feel like there's something at the throat too. And then we'll see what other areas and messages that they share with us. So yeah. So you can just relax. Okay. Oh, this is so beautiful. So we're accessing a specific frequency of earth. And I really feel like we're going back in time. And I can see us like on the forest floor. There's little mushrooms and energy that hasn't developed into a physical form yet. It reminds me of like spirit that would one day be a squirrel. There's no physical embodiment. So this is back before Earth fully took off in a physical way. And I feel like this is when the realms were very connected. This is when Earth was being created. And so I feel us going back. I'm just like closing my eyes and feeling this grounded energy come in. And they show me this beautiful tall redwood tree. And that's what it reminds me of. It's like connecting to source energy, connecting deep down to Gaia, and expanding up really high in the spiritual spaces and overseeing Earth. These trees are really tall in this vision. And you're relaxed. You're laying at the base of the tree. Okay, let's bring this energy through to fuel your aura. So bring it into your energy body. And it's giving you a boost and a stabilization here. And you might feel grounded in a really warm, heavy, like soothing way. It's like I heard these drums and then this beating, and I was like, oh, are those drums? And then it was like, no, that's the heartbeat of Mother Earth. So like you can hear this pulsation of Mother Earth's energy.
So beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with each pulsation, more energy is coming in and it's charging up your aura.
I keep feeling like this sensation on my upper back and like this heaviness coming in through my crown and my hands.
Mm.
But it feels good. Like, I don't, it's very supportive.
Yeah, I do feel this is Mother Earth energy, so there's a density to it, but it's warm. The way I'm perceiving it is like warm and nourishing, very comforting.
Yes.
Well, this is a very intriguing vision. Let me just share the vision. I see energy growing at your heart chakra, like sprouting out, like as if it's a plant, all these little shoots, like new seedlings sprouting out. And then it grows and blossoms, and you're depositing seeds. And then I saw some energy come in and separate it and pull all of that out of you. And so it feels like over lifetimes you've left seeds of energy. You've left a whole plant that would then grow in spaces. And it's very beautiful that it would, be depicted in this way. These are your gifts back to the earth. These are your gifts for those who will come into these nature settings. So pretty.
That blows my mind because sometimes when I'm doing like a heart meditation or I just prepare myself for my day, I'll imagine that there's like a rose in my heart, and outside of it, I see these white orbs. And so outside of the orbs, um, there's just like these flowers, and they are like exploring outside of me. They just go 360 around me, and they just open up. And I just started doing that within like the year or so, and I don't know where it came from. It's just like, oh, let me just feel what's outside of my heart, and
Yeah.
it just expands out. And I'll do that every once in a while when it feels right, but I don't know where it came from.
It's so beautiful. It's a natural gift that you have. I feel like you do this. I feel like, actually, let me ask. Oh, wow. Hold on. This is a really pretty vision. Okay, yeah, you do this. So the fairy or the elementals that are here now actually kind of catch them. The vision they show me is like these bubbles. They catch them and they put them in the earth, in the plants, and then it seeps down into the earth grid to ground. So you're depositing these beautiful, I don't know what you call them, light codes, packets of energy, gifts, and then you're so connected to the elemental realm that it's a resonating match where they can accept it, like they can it goes into that dimension, so then it can be received and they help put it into the earth. And you've done this before many times, and that's why I was like, oh wow, because they were showing me how it's the same kind of vision, little cartoon image of this fairy, very similar to who I saw you to be before. And so, but I'm trying to ask them if you received energies before, and that's when they said not from a human because the earth didn't have humans yet, but it was where you were kind of connected to your higher self, like your soul light. So all of the beings who were helping to create earth at the very beginning were bringing love, they were bringing intention, they were bringing these codes of frequencies. They were creating from a different realm, a higher spiritual realm. And so when you came into this space that was more around earth, you were a bridge, like you could receive that and help it create. So this is a time and space that the density they're saying is higher than what it is now. So it was that, coming into creation, which is so fascinating because right now I think for a lot of us are like, oh, we're ready to like lift back up. I think we've had a good go of it here on earth. All of these years, however many, it's like, okay, we lived, we learned. Can we come back to more of a conscious way of it? So it's a cycle, I guess, or a full circle coming back. But right now, you do this meditation that naturally occurred to you was this remembrance and just this knowing. It's like this is what I do, and it's so pretty. One way everything around reminds me of Gladriel at the beginning, where it's this milky white. It's a really soothing, kind of like a coconut milk, like a milky white that is coating to calm any frayed nerves, is what it feels like. And it's really nourishing. I know when we went to Maui, we were, I don't know if I'm going to get the words correct, but there's the pulp of the coconut that has beautiful therapeutic gifts. It's high in nutrition, and that's what it reminds me of, like the new coconuts. So it's high, I'm hearing like high octane energy again. It's rich in nutritional density for the energy on earth is how I would say it. So it's Yeah. And they're saying this is a gift that you have. It's like you know how to do this because you've done this. It's just you, it's who you are. You've done this many times. And so for you right now, let's see. They're stabilizing your aura. It's like a giving a gift back to you. And so if we have that white frequency, I remember at the beginning there was an orange that came in like a dreamsicle kind of orange. It's not as intense as a real dreamsicle popsicle, but it's that color and it's now going around the edge of your aura. And so it's like marbled colors or it's swirling. Yeah, and it looks so pretty. So, a couple of messages with that. They're saying that you're grounded, you're connected to earth and to be clear, it's the new earth energy. You're connected to that higher frequency of the new earth energy. And I'm looking at your root chakra and your sacral. And your sacral chakra looks very, very stable. Your root chakra is in transition, or it's actively moving. And I think if I could put it into words, I would describe it as releasing the past to go to the future. So the root chakra is ancestor energy, past life energy, and it's that frequency like on the hierarchy, the pyramid, where it's like fight or flight and safety. So it's the first space where we deal with food, shelter, which in our reality, career plays into that, being accepted into community and feeling like we belong on earth. So there was some old energy of the past that would have us separate, and that like enslavement energy where it's a struggle, and that that separation that can lead to fear and do I belong, that is releasing out of your energy field of ancestors' energy. So the DNA is clearing that, which for you is going to allow you this subconscious or this energetic way of being able to be you and not being in fear or having to hold back, right?
Makes
Yeah.
me so happy. Like I'm getting teary-eyed because just my blood alone, my mixture,
Mm.
it's so much, and I'm just so happy to hear that.
You're welcome. It's really powerful. Yeah. Do you want to share with the listeners a little
Yeah,
bit?
of
Yeah.
course. I wasn't too sure how much to say
Yeah,
or not.
girl.
Well,
Share.
I'm I'm African American and I'm also Mexican. So within those, I have a lot of indigenous blood.
Mm-hmm.
And just coming from families on both ends who have had different life experiences and just ancestral trauma and just everything that's been, I can see. Like it's always blown my mind. And I've always thought, it shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be this heavy. We should be able to talk. We should be able to commune with each other. We should be able to tell each other, this is how I feel. This is what's going on. This is what happened to me. This is what happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm very vocal with it. And I tell all the time, even since I was a little kid, I would be very vocal about this doesn't feel right, or this doesn't feel like this, or it shouldn't be like this. And a lot of a lot of what my families on both ends have gone through, it's like, oh no, shut it down. Like, we don't talk about that. Like, among the women, we'll talk about it, but very little. And then the
Mm.
men, they can't know that. Like, and I'm just thinking they should know. Both sides should know. And so to hear that that's being pushed out is so, it makes my heart happy, first of
Yeah.
all. And it just makes me weep because they're tears of healing. And I just think all the work that I'm doing to change those things, those programmings, those ways of being or ways of not expressing each other is showing literally in my aura. And it makes me so
Yeah.
happy. And I do ancestral work. Like I pray to my ancestors, I ask for help. I'll plant things, I'll think of my grandparents, or I'll think like 5 generations back, and I'll think of, I don't know if anybody else does this, but I'll try to think like, what would my great 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 grandmother been doing like at this time of the day? She probably would have been cooking. She probably would have been holding a baby on both sides, and just like working, working, working. And so sometimes I'll just lay there, put my hands over my womb, and just like I'd release the tears that she couldn't cry, or I would think
Yeah.
of the things that she couldn't say, and I would just say, "I'm sorry you had to go this, but I'm not going to carry this for you anymore. I'm going to be free."
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. No,
So
I
moving.
just, yeah, no. So just things like that, I just feel like are very important, not just in the African community, not just in the Mexican, but any indigenous culture, any culture across the globe. I feel like we got to stop thinking it's just us right now, because it's also back and forward,
Hmm. Hmm.
and just release that stuff, because it's not for you to carry, but they're there to support you. So I always just think it's important to have those communications or those speeches or those talks with yourself, with your ancestors, and with your family.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not done enough. And as uncomfortable as it may be, it needs to be done.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you're breaking these chains that were wrapped around, and the embodiment of the chains. Where, with that, to me, that means like it's tight around the body. I can't breathe. I can't speak, and I can't expand. And as we've shared, you're here to transmute that. You're here as bright light to be expansive and to heal. And when you were sharing this, I got, you're giving them the love, as you talk to them and you put the energy in your womb and you send it back through it actually goes, in the DNA, and then it goes back dimensions into time. It goes all the way back. They'll feel it. And at the same time, I heard you're giving love and then you're receiving love. And then I see them supporting and standing around. And so there's a part of healing and ancestral work that I clairvoyantly see where ancestors will stand around and they're communicating. And after something is healed, it is like a piece of them, or more so, let's say, the emotion, the energy that was created and left on earth, it releases. So it transmutes and it heals. And that is exactly what you were sharing, going to go through timelines. So all of your ancestors back and forward. And it helps us heal at a soul level, and it helps them heal at a soul level, and it helps you with your future generations. Not only like offspring that come through you, but it can also go to your cousins. You see, it can go that way. Yeah, and it's happening, and you're doing a lot of work. I will say it's not complete, but that's okay. There's a lot of movement. Things are shifting, and I'm hearing it is going to be successful. And when they said successful, oh, it's so pretty. They show me with your feet planted in the ground, and you're grounding this new reality, right? And it's like it's all green. It looks like new earth, new birth, and it's like when a child is born, they're showing me an infant, a baby, and they're free and expansive. And they just want to be natural, free, who they are, prior to having any restrictions placed on them, societal restrictions or family, community, the way we function. So you are resetting, and it goes right in line with New Earth energy. And it makes so much sense, and it's happy and it's sparkly, and there are tears of joy and tears of healing there. And I'm actually seeing a frequency coming in now that it's flowing like water, but it's this clear white water with a little bit of blue in it, and it's flushing through your chakras, actually through all of them. Well, all of the ones from your root on up to your throat. So it's flushing and clearing. So they're telling me that vocalization is very important for you, whether it's poetry or singing or speaking, and dance and movement with that too, by the way. Like, speak it out. Sing it
Yes.
out. Yeah. Yeah, you're creating new realities. I'm hearing when it's not just like the words, it's the energy and the expression that's flowing from you. So it's creation, it's intentional, but you don't have to direct it with your mind and come up with what you want to say. It's actually you're sensing what's already there and what wants to be birthed, and you're channeling it. you're channeling this beautiful energy out for creation of this new reality. And it is happening. I'm hearing it's happening. So this there might be days where you feel like you have to push, like it's a little sticky, but you're moving. So that's, they say, that's when you get your harp out. So find some music and listen to. You don't have to own a harp.
Yeah.
Just play it, play a sound of the harp. um yeah, so that's really pretty. It's really moving through. And I'm looking at your energy field. There's a lot of purple that's an amethyst color of purple, and then a deeper rose pink color coming in. So that looks so lovely. And it starts at the chest level, so heart chakra on up, but I'm watching it so it goes up closer to the body and then expands out over your aura like a fountain flowing around. So you're getting that love all around and it's going down. Actually, as the pink flows down your aura, it looks deeper and deeper, like a deep mauve, rosy color going down to your feet. So it's helping you to ground. And it's so pretty. It's just what we talked about before, where you can have these energies all within yourself and within your aura. You don't have to leave, and you don't have to only be focused in like that 3D reality. You're actually embodying and merging and blending both aspects to create that new frequency, that new earth frequency. It's happening. So that looks really, really pretty. Just going to clear a little bit of energy for you at your throat that I feel in there. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. I see a deep blue, kind of like blueberry color, and it's going into your body to charge up your chakra. And then I saw these little crystals. They look like the gem emojis that you have on the iPhone, like a lot of these. And they are coming out of your throat chakra, really glittery, sparkling, catching the sunlight and going into your energy field. And so this is the energy that you're sharing with others. And then the deeper blueberry blue is supporting and stabilizing you. And as that was happening, I was seeing little threads release. So there were little chords here. And some of it was programming from like here it come up. It's like wanting to release. I'm like, oh, I can actually feel the energy moving through my trachea. So fascinating. Okay, so then there's these little chords that look like thin, I don't know, threads that are just releasing. They're just breaking and snapping off. And some of that was ancestral energies that would have come in and programmed the throat chakra and taught it how to conform and stay in line, right? And for that time and space, it probably was important for physical safety, but now is a different time and space. And I also see they're showing me energies crossed. And this is a masculine and feminine in the family line.
I got chills on the left and the right now. That's so crazy.
Okay, yeah. They've come together, but they're showing how it crossed. And at the point where it touched, it was like shut down. It was like the women wanting to say something, they had something to say, the men had something to say something, but it was cut right here. It was shut down. And there's this big bulge of energy here, so that everything in that trajectory forward is it's very translucent. Where their thoughts and what they want to say, the energy is opaque, it's full of energy, and then it gets trapped right here. So let me ask our team here what they would like us to do, if there's anything to help with here. Every time you speak your truth, it's like pulling it out from this cross so that they can be parallel, so the energies can be parallel and start to be standing side by side, seeing eye to eye, and then being able to talk this way horizontally. So actually, and that's kind of fascinating, here we are as humans, and when we talk to others, it's like our chakras should speak to each other. So our throat to their throat, our heart to their heart, communication, resonating, feeling it. So when this energy came in and it hit kind of at a side angle, it could have been maybe the females came in more emotionally. They wanted to speak. And then the men couldn't handle that. They wanted to be more linear and, masculine. And yeah, so their energy came in the other way and it just kind of froze. It was like, oh, we can't, it's hard to communicate. So it just stopped. So every time you speak something or journal it out, let your voice be heard in a profound way or a gentle way. It doesn't really matter exactly, but it's helping to clean and comb through that energy so it all can be unknotted. And they say as an added bonus, like the men, okay, two things. The men in the family, when they can also have a conversation, they're healing the masculine side. But also, there's a way of like working by proxy. So, if you're speaking to a male who's not a family member, you have a friend or maybe, a partner, then they're holding space for that to heal also. So, it's taking place. So, it's so pretty.
I'm so glad to
Wow.
hear that. So just speak
Yeah.
my truth, move forward, say what I have to say, whether it's profound or just gentle, just say it.
Yeah. It's about not having restrictions placed on you. And being
Yeah.
able, because like you say, they just showed me the vision I saw when you were speaking earlier about the women holding babies on hips and working, and like there's tears in their eyes and they're holding it all in the body. And the body feels really heavy. And like their abdomen, actually, this woman that I'm seeing, she's overweight in her abdomen region because she's holding all of the emotion in there. And the anger in the liver, the pancreas has, it's green, like fear and shame and guilt and grief kind of all mixed up in that one. So these are emotional frequencies that were held by ancestors. And I don't really know that it won't affect you in the way that it affected them because you're already clearing it, but it's going to help, like we mentioned earlier, through generations to come if you speak your voice. And if you cry, if you have a day where you feel like you need to cry, cry and sing and like wail it out, that's like healing.
It
Yes.
is. I love to sing my emotions out. The best
Okay.
thing is taking a shower, blasting the music, and just sing it out.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
Hmm.
It's really therapeutic and it's so powerful, I think, a little bit more than we even realize, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's so beautiful. So let me look at your energy field here. I wanted to adjust your heart chakra and kind of fine tune the different, all of your chakras. I'm going to take a peek here. We'll start at your heart first because they already showed me that one. So, okay, one moment here. It's like all the way at the tip of the chakra, the root in the body. So you might feel some pressure. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're not done yet, but it's looking much better. It was twisted, it was torqued and tipped at the same time. So I'm guiding it back into place and gently shining some light through it. You would feel like from the back of your body out through the front if you can feel the energy. Sometimes when I'm working, I hear songs in my head. And now the song is like, what you say? Do you know that song?
I do.
It's all about you speaking your truth, speaking. What do you want to say? Yeah. We're letting the energy flow. It's beautiful. It's a lot of pastel colors that are coming through, blues and pinks, the heart. And of course, blue is the throat chakra. So there we go.
As you were working on it, I was feeling some energy like by the throat and like collarbone area. So whatever you were doing was like moving and adjusting. So I definitely felt that.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, thank you for sharing. Yeah, because I could see how it had gone in and was causing a disruption upwards in the body. But now it looks like it's flowing really pretty. And I actually see, okay, it's a ring of amethyst. Like it was right here at your throat chakra, all the way down to your heart. And it was facing me like it would be standing. So I just asked them, is that how it's going to be? And they said no. So it's tipped now, like around that area for stability. So that purple frequency, the deeper the purple, could go to indigo, right? So it's the whole array. Here's I have this big amethyst for those who are watching the video on YouTube. So this is kind of like a lighter, but you can see where there are the darker pieces. So that whole frequency is now stabilizing that region as you heal. And amethyst is wisdom, it's clarity with discernment and high frequency. I feel it's a lot of royal energy. So, it's having that way where you hold yourself, you speak your truth in a really beautiful, and it's kind of like that air of it is what it is. I have nothing to be ashamed of. This is
Yep.
how I feel.
Yep.
Yeah.
That energy right there is what I need. Not even gonna
Yeah.
lie, spoke to my soul.
Oh, I love that. Yes. So allow yourself these beautiful experiences. I'm getting about 2.5 to, it's so funny. How do we do this? But 2.5 to 3.7. So that would be 4 weeks. Okay. So give yourself like 2.5 to 4 weeks of integration
Okay.
through the different stages
Okay.
of everything. So, journal and dance and move and be free. With the freedom, you're releasing, and then you're going to want to recharge. So, for you, it's nature, and also anything that has you smile or activates joy is an instant reboot. It's a recharge. So, it's filling up your battery. Yes. Oh, it feels so good. Um, I'm just working on level 6 of your aura real quick. We're moving energy around. I literally have to smile. It is the most beautiful thing. It's green and it's like leaves from a tree all layered like shingles. So,
Like go like this, like if the wind was gonna hit it.
yeah, and they're like, yeah, that's moving a little, but it's like laying down for protection. It's like your boundary. So it's like you're enclosed with the branch of the tree hanging over, kind of, but it's like all the leaves shielding you. Of course. It makes so much sense. So pretty. Okay, the energy's settling. We're actually working outside of your seventh dimension, or that makes sense. We tapped in like all the way up to the 16th, so I'm seeing it calm and stabilize. There's still some energy I didn't notice before. I guess I wasn't looking, but a little bit of energy clearing that would be related to experiences when you're not in a human body, like kind of like those life realities. So that's clearing and working out. How do you feel? How are things over there?
I feel like really seen. So I love that because there's some things that you brought up when I'm like, she doesn't even know me like that. So I love that. And I just feel a lot, just more aligned, if that makes sense. Just, hey, my back feels more, hey, I got this. And
Mm.
just this energy of, ah, okay, it's more confirmation, just gave me more clarity. And I just feel at peace inside. That's the best way I could put it.
Oh, I love this. Thank you so much for sharing. I want to let you know I'm getting that you're going to be emotional because you're healing at the womb space on upward. And see if you want to cry like later today, absolutely flow with that, let it out. And to help support the heart chakra, there's a gemstone. I wish I had it memorized, but it's deeper than a rose quartz. It's like a strawberry pink color. So look for the deeper pinks if you could get yourself a rose, or it's not a rose stone. It's not a rose quartz, but it's like a deep pink. Yeah. So a deep pink, kind of like a strawberry pink
Strawberry
stone.
pink color one, and it supports the heart chakra, just so I know what to
Yes.
put in and search a little bit later.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. I
Gosh, and if
definitely
I
will.
okay. Yeah, if I can find it in the book, I'll let you know. But yeah, and just hold it here to help stabilize as you're healing and processing. So when we say healing in this experience for you, particularly with this, is to let the emotion come out so your chakra can be stable, to let it really efficiently come out rather than have your heart chakra feel all kittywampus and anxiety, or just like that unsettled feeling. You hold it here and it's going to stabilize so the pathways can purge basically in a really easy way. Yeah.
It makes me so happy. Like I just want to just basically allow your feelings, feel your feelings, and just let them come out.
Yes.
And I'm all for that, girl. Like you have no idea.
Aw, yay, 1,000,000%. Oh, I'm so happy. Well, thank you so much for sharing your messages and gifts with everybody that got to tune in today. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me, Amy. I really appreciate this whole session. Just the experience was awesome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I want to thank everybody who's tuning in on the audio platforms or on YouTube. So thank you so much for joining us here on the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, give a follow or a thumbs up, a star, wherever you might be. And I look forward to seeing you all on the next episode. Do you have any questions about integration or anything?
I do actually. So
Okay.
during the 2.5 to, I think you said like 4 weeks or so,
Mm-hmm.
um, you mentioned journaling, you mentioned working with the crystal. Is there, I guess
I'm
I
movement.
don't,
I'm seeing you
yeah,
dancing.
movement. Okay,
You need to
perfect.
dance.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and dance and do that because I was dancing in the shower before this. Yeah. So I'm trying to do
Yeah.
that more to move my body just because I
Yeah.
remember, I did that as a kid anyways, and I do it now as an adult. But when you said it's important for releasing things,
Mm-hmm.
I try to make it a habit more. So I'm going to try to focus on doing that daily and just
Yes.
honor my body, honor my feelings, and just move forward.
Yes, absolutely. I'm seeing two forms of dancing, like twirling and moving your upper body, but then I'm also seeing like kind of like squatting and twerking, kind of like that, to
Okay.
push the energy, anything that's trapped in the root chakra or your
Oh,
sacral out, to
okay.
help it move out of the hips. Yeah.
Okay. Twerk, twerk. I'd be like, Amy
Woohoo!
told me to twerk, so I'm twerking.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly.
I love it.
I do too. I do too. Oh, it was such a
Oh,
joy. Thank you. Keep me
thank you, Amy.
updated.
I definitely will. I'll keep you posted on what's going on after the session.